I'm gonna share the link out of
I
YouTube to
think
share with
that's
y'all.
what it is.
Okay.
That's what it would. I think that's what it is. Clicking or linking to Facebook, it allowed me to access it. But then after a while, I was getting a message there was an error with Facebook.
Oh,
Okay. We are. I'm for the. We're alive, y'all.
all right. Awesome. That's awesome.
Okay.
Hello, hello,
Coach,
hello,
what?
everybody. How are you, Coach Tina?
How are you doing? Let me go. Let me click.
How was your day, ladies?
It was good.
It's good. So far, it was good.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I always feel like for Sunday for me, it's a half day. That I usually feel like
Sunday.
Sunday, it's a half
It's
day.
it's not letting me. Oh, it's just not. It's not letting me record,
Mm.
Okay.
but it is letting me go live. So we are live. Okay.
Hmm. I
I
think
am.
but I think it should have that red live. It will be kind of red, the live, the live button.
It's not letting me go do it.
Hmm.
We're live. We're live. It's just not recording.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was telling you.
But we
We're
need that.
live.
We need to record it for the people who won't be here.
Okay, so you want to go out
No,
and
we
come
can
back
take the
in?
recording off of YouTube and share it.
And share. Oh, perfect. Then yeah.
Yeah.
Then let's do it, ladies.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What's the
Wonderful.
link so we could share it to Facebook or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for the send. I'll put it in the chat. Here you go.
Okay. Sounds good.
There you go.
Okay. This is going to be good. Good, good.
Yes. Yeah, we are actually live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Black Talk Show and the Umoja Global Network. We have Dr. Lovella here with us and Coach Janine. Welcome, ladies.
Hello, Christina. Thank you for hosting us again tonight. You're right. I'm so excited for tonight with our own Dr. Lovella. I'm so excited for this amazing, amazing, divine time that we're going to have together and talking about her new latest book that we're going to really dig, into it. So welcome again, Dr. Lovella. How are you tonight?
I am good. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on not only your platform, but be able to speak to the hearts of your audience. I am well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Coach Tina, do you want to welcome Dr. Lovella and go right in?
Yes, welcome, Dr. Lavella. I'm glad we're glad to have you on the show to talk about your new book. So, can you give us some insight on your book? Like, what is it about? What made you decide to write it?
Sure. Thank you so much for asking. So the topic of the book, or the book is entitled Confessions of a Black Woman. And
Hmm.
why confession of a Black woman? And what is it about a Black woman? Of course, Black women, women in general have so many confessions spoken and also unspoken. And the subtopic is the journey of self discovery and empowerment. So it is a journey. Life is a journey. Transformation is a journey. Healing is a journey. Empowerment is a journey. Cultivating and even going through evolution is radical. It is a journey. And so the thing about it is, in the course of life where we are, like they say, leveling up, or we are learning who we are and we are discovering who we are. Sometimes we rush into it and we do like a 21-day boot camp, if you will, or a 21-day days trying to tap into the core of us of who we are and learn who we are, rewire who we are, forgetting that it is a journey. And a journey doesn't always start and end in 21 days. So when you said, why Confession of a Black Woman, this book serves as a beacon. It will illuminate the path towards self-discovery, healing, and it's also unapologetic self-love. What do you mean by that? The words, the chapter will inspire women, Black women, or women in general, to embrace truth. There is present day truth, and there's his and her truth, and there's so many narratives. And cause her to stand in her power. No one is going through changes in their life and they're coming into new discoveries of who they are. Going through transition and also embarking, whether one is grieving, experiencing death, experiencing an awakening, whatever one is going through, you are going through a journey. But even in that, you have to stand in the power, because when I said the power, you're learning different versions of yourself. So
Yes.
in the journey, it's causing one or helping women to forge ahead. So therefore, I'm that coach, or I'm that sister girl, or that midwife, helping one to forge, go forward into their next phase of their journey.
Okay, that sounds good. So, how many chapters are in your book?
Oh, 11 chapters.
11 chapters. Okay. So, who is your, I'll say, you said, well, who's your main target is Black women, but is it any particular topic that is discussed in there, or it's just a variety of topics?
Well, women in general, and also written for Black women. Of course, I can or could have written to any woman, but why the Black woman? We are always in a path or journey to not only discover who we are, but I'm speaking specifically to the woman that has a voice but no sound, trying to decipher the code of narratives. His and her truth. They told me this when I was little, and now she's in her adult life thinking that she's don't have value, she don't have worth, because she's constantly fighting, literally fighting in the air those words, those narratives that came and form or shape her identity. And so with this book, speaking to the heart, the mind, and soul of Black women, like for instance, the chapter is speaking to the mask, hiding behind the mask, the societal expectation. The other one would be breaking free or embracing your true identity. And another chapter, chapter 3, would be the struggle, navigating racism and discrimination. 4, this one is very important. Find your voice, overcome fear and speaking out, because even though we have a sound, even though we have a voice, the words of fear and doubt overrides our language. It suffocates us. It stifles us to the point where we lose our voice. And our voice is our power. That's how we're able to articulate not only our emotions, but our intelligence, articulate our strength, our power, articulate and from the depths of our hearts, our soul, who we are, what we like, what we don't like, our truth as we navigate through life. So if it could snuff away, take away your voice, then it'll strip away at your power. And in each chapter, you'll find I pinpoint what is in place that's coming to stop, hinder, or be an obstacle. But I also help Sister Girl, that woman, to be able to confront these obstacles and trump these obstacles so it could get out of her way and so she could move on to the next level, the next phase of her life.
Okay, sounds good. So, Coach Janine, you have any questions for her?
Yeah, absolutely. The reason why I really so blessed, I know that she's very busy, Dr. Lovella, but the reason why I really wanted her to come and to be able to dive in this book, first of all, I wanted really to speak, especially when I saw the title, I was like, whoa, this is something I wanted to hear her version for me before even reading it. I wanted to hear from her. And also, we're going to bring her back after when I read the book, because I really want to make sure that I have the before and after, because I know Dr. Lovella, and she knows this, but I'm gonna say it again. Each time I listen to Dr. Lovella, each time I see her post, like she's always speaking, like she's really this type of servant leader that she just draw your attention about whatever that she's talking about. Like she's really, explaining, and she always makes sure that she speak to the heart definitely. So I know last month we just passed, it was a Women History Month, and most of the women, she mostly works also with a lot of women. So what would you say to this woman who's listening to you tonight, who haven't started her self-discovery, her personal self-discovery yet? What would you say, what would be her expectation, and what would be some of the few steps that she need to take in order for her to start her personal self-discovery?
Oh, good question. Thank you so much for that. Keyword, you said expectation.
Yes.
A lot of women are still fighting to embrace their expectation. Why? Because everybody else's expectation trumps hers.
Mm-hmm.
The expectation of a wife, a sister, an aunt, grandmother on the job. And at the end of the day, when she has to fight with her expectation, she has to come to the reality of what her expectation is. The thing about the expectation is when she takes that self-reflection, because you mentioned steps, and I do have a couple, in that first step is to self-reflect. What does it mean to self-reflect? It means to take the time to reflect on your experiences, your values, your belief, your worth, explore what matters most to you, and also explore what you're passionate about, and then do a self-reflection that could help you understand yourself, your authentic self, and your expectation. I said that to say this again, because there's so many others expectation that is trumping or being bombarded upon yours. When it comes to you, it just seems like you're literally fighting just to define you, just for you to get your way, just for you to be who you are. And in doing so, which comes to volume 2, in doing so, fighting for the expectation, what is it? When it comes to the expectation, what version of a woman would be your expectation? Would it be the young adult? Would be the 20s, 30s, 40s, which means will you tap into an older version of you, going back in time to the expectation? And you could very well be that you'll find a lot of women have outgrown their shell and still don't know who they are. And in order for them to define them, I'm not talking about accolades, degrees. I'm not talking about everything that you have cultivated to make you, because you have leveled up. But when I'm talking about your nakedness, your authentic self, the core, the cut of you, to be able to explain, express who you are, flaws and all, in your nakedness, can you express your expectation without attaching it to religion, without attaching it to, again, your accolades, about attaching it to your marriage, your children, your grandchildren, your family? I'm talking about you. And in that conversation, just like you said, Coach Janine, you'll find a lot of women, though they're on the journey and they're running this race, a lot of them are lost.
Yes.
They're lost because they don't know who they are, because they have been living up to the expectation of everybody else around them.
Wow. Now, definitely, this is something that many of us really still see now, day by day. Can you talk a little bit about, and I hear this, we talked about this, especially being a servant leader, we talked about this subject more often, but I don't think we ever really dig deep into excuses. I know maybe you might touch to that book, because I can't wait to read. But I know probably on this book you can attach on that. So can you really break it down for us more, because many women they think that no, this is a good reason, but it might be an excuse that it really, maybe it's fear, maybe it's something that you just hold into it, and that's really pushing you not to start your journey of self-reflection.
Oh, that's another good one. The biggest and the by far most biggest excuse is called waiting. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting for the right moment. I'm waiting until I have monies in my account. I'm waiting on this. And in reality, the Creator is waiting on them to manifest in the expansion of who they are. And because they're lost, And a lot of them don't know they're lost. Okay. And it could very well be that you're waiting for your life partner. But in reality, in order for you to meet him or her, because men could be listening to this too,
Right.
there's
Yes.
certain things that you have to achieve in life. There's certain fat. You have to cut away at the fat from you or baggage before you can meet that life partner. And so we are waiting. And in that waiting, we put on the false expectation that we're waiting for the right moment, waiting to do the right thing, the right thing. But in reality, what is speaking the loudest? Fear and procrastination.
Mm.
Because one don't feel like that they're not qualified or they don't have the tools necessary to execute what has been trusted to them from the beginning of time. So there, and that also speaks loudly of one them being disconnected from the Creator. They're not disconnected in prayer. They're not disconnected in their relationship. They're disconnected in their reality because what has been given to you from the beginning of time is for you to steward it. But if you can't fathom see that it has been trusted to you for you to execute it, it's because you're disconnected because you don't see yourself doing it, fulfilling it. You look down upon yourself and you override the language, which means you talk yourself out of it every time you're supposed to achieve a goal, do something. Here comes stagnation, procrastination, and you talk yourself out. And I'm just going to wait, and I'm just going to wait. Now, 3 days turn into 3 months, 3 months now turn into 3 years, but you're still waiting. And that right there, especially for women in ministry, is a huge thing. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on that. And time is passing them by. They're missing out on windows, portals, gateways. They're missing out on opportunity because they're so busy cultivating and they're busy with their hands in ministry and they don't see the value of them in the expansion that they're not only supposed to occupy the room of ministry, but also the other 7 mountains. So they will stick or stay in the lane in which they're most comfortable. They will hide behind the collar, and I said it, hide behind the collar and hide behind the gift. Why? Because they have cultivated it. They have become easy. Now, when you have to disconnect them from the collar, they're lost. Them from the assignment, the duty, the responsibility, and then because again, women wear so many roles and so many hats that at the end of the day, when they have to take off all these hats, they still don't know who they are. So we have women crying out about to lose it because they just want stillness to be able to hear their own thoughts. They want stillness to be able to tap into them, the core. And I'm talking about delving in, going a little deeper when it comes to self-care. This in reality is called soul rehab. Now you're able to be still enough to hear your heart, to hear your spirit, and to hear your soul speak to you. The biggest one that trumps us every time is our excuses.
My goodness. Oh, we can even say just this is so deep. Like this is a thing. Of course, she has to come back because we we barely scratch the surface with this
Yes.
side because there's so much to talk about. Like especially while you're talking, I just listen so many. I mean, hey, I really this year, and I shared that with Coach Tina. Really, my word was execution.
Mm.
So from January to, even though I cannot really execute, some of the things, I'm gonna be honest, I think there are a few things still I haven't even started yet. But it looks like yeah, I'm kind of moving, but now really everything. So yeah, I'm every day say, Lord, help me to execute because that's what I mean. I think I used to say that. Oh yeah, God, what do you think? I mean, that's the thing that to me I was so surprised the beginning of the year kind of reflecting and say, well, it's not like, it's just a year of execution because you've been receiving a lot. And I remember, I'm going to share that with everybody. I hope Dr. Lovella, she's okay with this. She told me about it. She said, Janine, as a woman, as a pregnant woman, so that's how you carry you tired already, you all birthing stuff up. And I said, yeah, but this is something that the more you execute, the more you share it, you really feel like you really starting to understand this is my mission, this is an assignment. So I'm glad that you're talking about this. I'm glad that this book is really covering all these chapters. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait for you guys. Please reach out to to Dr. Lovella so she can be able to guide you. Even you want to invite her to your conferences, to do a workshop, to do a business retreat, or just retreat in general. She can be able to lead you. And this is the book you can do like at a book club, any conversation you want to have with her, please, because she's definitely the right person to be able to guide you in this conversation. It's so needed right now.
And
Coach
can I
Tina,
add something to that, Coach Janine? Because
please, please go.
you mentioned the word execution, because you're not the only one that have been sitting at the edge of this seat, and at the same time you're bubbling like you're about to take off running, because you are so full of what you're supposed to implement that you could feel it. I said that to say this: in this execution, in this implementing, it's so radical that what you're doing is creating chaos around you. Why? You have to disrupt your normality. Don't be afraid of the disruption. Why? Because in the movement, which is radical, is intention, is impactful, there will be some backfiring. Why? Because you have set the atmosphere, the environment for you to be comfortable. And so now you're making changes, and you're going to feel the changes in your body, in your mental aptitude, in your mental fortitude, and things that you're doing, to the point where you will apply pressure. And don't you think that that environment, everything that you're going to do is not going to bounce back and buck back at you? And guess what? Some people get afraid of that, Janine, and they stand down. Oh my gosh, it's too much. It's the devil. It's this. No. In order for you to come out of in order for you to come out of the atmosphere in which you have been set, remember, you have been living under this umbrella for how many years? And now you're finally going to do what you have set your mind out to do. You are disrupting the normality of everything in your life. You're reprogramming yourself. And then there are times when you're going forward and you might just get discouraged and you say, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because you don't need, are you looking for someone to I should say, stroke your ego, or push you, and it's going to be all right? In the change, you have to also change those that speak into your ear gates. You have to find your tribe.
Love
In
it.
the change, you have to find those that's ahead of you, that's running ahead of you, and they're looking back and they say, where you at? Come on, let's go. Everybody don't have that. Find that let's go person. Where you at? Every now and then they're checking on you. Where you at?
Too.
Let's do this. Come on, let's go. And in doing so, before you know it, everything you have to change. Even to a lot of us, even moving forward, what we tend to do is move back, go back, and we tap into the old system or in the past, and we try to bring these old system and strategy into a place of elevation and expansion. I'm going to say it one more time: elevation and expansion. And in this space, Coach Janine, because you're moving in the expansion of you, the brilliance of you, you're moving into another core, like a diamond. You're moving in another core or cut of you. Everybody can't